Today, products flow from every corner of the globe before getting into the hands of the customer. There's an entire industry built around the flow of these products, and it's called logistics. Now, companies often consider the cost of this transportation to be the standard way of doing business. An honest, unbiased look at the transportation data often yields significant savings to the bottom line, but all too often companies are too focused on putting out fires to take the time to look at that data. To make my point, here's a real example. There's a fender bender of an imported car in New Jersey. The repair parts are ordered in the United States by the dealer. Now, this order automatically generates an order for the repair parts to be manufactured in Mexico. Their order automatically generates component parts orders in China. Now, those component parts are manufactured in China, shipped by DHL to Mexico. The repair parts are manufactured in Mexico and Federal Express to Germany, where they're inspected and put into a warehouse. Then they're pulled from stock and FedEx to a warehouse in the United States, where they are shipped by UPS to the New Jersey dealer who repaired the car. Now, the cost of this repair for this fender bender was $7,500, and a large portion of that cost was in transportation. Yet the focus of the company was not on the transportation and associated cost, but on the manufacture and the delivery of the repair part. To restate the problem, the costs of transportation are often considered secondary to the production of the product. It's a given that there are a lot of factors that come into play, like tariffs and import laws and taxes, but the cost of moving the products literally around the world often are considered to be the cost of doing business, and as such are ignored. However, there's always a tremendous amount of data that's being captured on each of these transactions, and that data can be the foundation of a significant savings initiative. We know as lean practitioners that transportation is one of the items that we want to reduce, since it's a non-value added event. But assuming that the transportation is necessary, there are many options available to industries, and each has a different cost structure. Let's just look at trucking, for example. You can own your own fleet of trucks, or you can lease trucks. Are your drivers employees, or do you use contract trucking? Or do you use a mix of the above? How do you choose? Do you use over-the-road trucks, or do you use rail? Do you use UPS, or do you use mail? What's the mix of shipping of your product? Because you may use all of these things. The answers to many of these questions reside in the data. The Innovanet Group worked with a large oil and gas provider and helped develop a fleet profile for their offshore supply ships. The oil and gas provider's primary task was to get oil and gas out of the ground and to their customers. But they had a lot of historical data on their fleet operations. Innovanet utilized this data to look at the vessel utilization, fleet mix, and costs, and help drive a future fleet projection and influence their contracting strategies with various types of vessels, resulting in a $20 million annual savings. This is an example of where looking at the data resulted in changes in the way that business was done, which then resulted in an increased bottom line. If your primary business is to produce a product, then you rely on transportation. If you're not looking at the data that you collect to optimize this transportation, then let the Innovanet Group assist you. Our practitioners have experience in helping our clients put processes and systems in place that reduce the transportation costs in order to help you improve your bottom line. If you have questions, please feel free to contact us. Thank you for your time.